Good evening, everybody. This is Frankie Day Models. Welcome to Thursday night live stream. We're going to zoom back on the PBY, my birthday build, and we'll get back on the half track right here. Today, I've been working on finishing up my drum and duck, and I got the wing and everything on. Canopy, rigging, decals, propeller, cowling, motor, propeller. She's all done. And tonight we're gonna weather the interior. I already put a wash on my interior for the PBY, and did some research. They were bronze green inside. Pre-war, they're all aluminum, but they decided to go ahead and use bronze green. And at the weathering, I'm going to go ahead and add the decals to the instrument panel and some the same. Put the windows inside there and go to the fuselage together and get the stabilizers on there and go onward. And I'm having such a good time right now today, guys. Wow, this week really flew. And we got 5 watching on the chat board. We have Mr. Daniel Breton with us. Daniel Breton says, "Hey, Frankie, it's Wednesday up here in Maine." Well, I guess it is Wednesday, isn't it? Wow. I thought it was Thursday. That's what I'm saying, fellas. I'm in this room so long all the time. You know, it just I don't know if it's Friday or Monday or what. You know, if it's Thursday and if it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday here in Maine. I guess it is Wednesday, isn't it? I'll be doggone. I thought it was Thursday. And Daniel says, "Splendid." Live stream is, we got Cool Luke B40. He says, "This live stream is sponsored by Cherry Dr. Pepper in a can, be purchased at your local grocery stores." That it will. Matter of fact, I'll open up the can right now. Elusive Model Designs, Matt says, "Hello." Hello back to you, Matt. And Matt says, "It's Tuesday here, Frank." Right? Wow. I'm about as confused as a stale rabbit right now. Let me check my phone. I know I'm not having a senior moment, guys. It's Wednesday. I'll be doggone. It's Wednesday. And the news is this. I thought yesterday was Wednesday and today was Thursday. So actually today is my birthday. It's my birthday today, guys. Yeah, I thought yesterday was my birthday. See what I'm saying? I lose all concept of time because I'm in this room 24 hours a day. I don't go out and do nothing. I'm here all the time, building models, watching YouTube channels, and I know I don't have Alzheimer's disease. I'm going to show you when you're locked up in the room. Anyway, today's my birthday. I thought yesterday was my birthday. I thought yesterday was Wednesday. My fault, guys. I'm really sorry about that. I guess I am having a senior moment at the time. But it will not last. Gosh darn it. I swear I thought today was Thursday. My God. Well, that's again putting the cart before the horse again. Boy, they. And Matt says, happy birthday. Again. Oh, hell, happy birthday, Frankie. No problem at all, Daniel says. And, like I say, guys, you got to understand my situation. I'm in this room all the time. I don't know what's going on in that world out there. I know everything that goes on inside this room because I'm in prison. We're going to have a good night tonight, and I'm working my birthday bill with my PBY CATALINA. We got a lot of stuff done tonight. Yesterday we got the interior parts all done. They've been painted with a bronze green. And I'm going to do a little bit of weathering on this thing tonight. I gave it a wash last night. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a wash there with a little bit of weathering right there. It's assembled the fuselage. Like I said a couple minutes ago, beginning of the video, we got the instrument panel right here. I'll go ahead and paint these out and make me some epoxy, make some dowel papers on here. Move inside the fuselage. And go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and put the transparency inside the fuselage. When that's all done, we'll put together and work on the stabilizer. And it's not much to this PBY. It's a very beautiful kit. MONOGRAM did PBY justice. A very good kit. And those that's tuned in, I've been working today on this. I'm like, I got the wing joint on there. This thing should be done by tomorrow. Yeah, it's not a bad little kit this old Winco deck. That kit is. It's no ITC one. I remember the one I had before. It was molded in red plastic. Came with a big old stand. The stand slot is there, but no stand for it to be perched on. And Daniel again says, no problem at all. Happy 39th birthday, Frankie. Yep. Like Daniel said, when he commented to me on my last night's stream I had, it says, happy 81 days around the sun. And 81 years around the sun. It sure is. Like I say, listen, I don't feel like a baby one. And my daughter says she'll take me out to dinner probably this week again. That'd be good. She already took me out to my birthday dinner already. I guess it was early. And I went to a Japanese restaurant. It's called hibachi. Oh man, it's a sushi bar kind of thing. Got a chef, big old top cat on there. Brings out a cart full of rice and steak and shrimp and chicken and stuff like that. And whoosh, fire goes up and stuff. And I had a good time. That was a good food. Now they want to take me to Texas Roadhouse for a steak. That sure sounds good to me. We'll do it for a good steak. Very nice day. They didn't rain day. It was warm, not really hot, but it was pretty good and warm. I went outside, did some walking around. I walked about a couple miles today, walking around. I walked all the way up just to Loop Road where I live at. Way out there by the church, by the marathon station, and a private gas station of some sort. I was walking around, and a policeman pulled me over there. I'll tell you the story. Hey, how you doing, sir? Real fine. It was a little bit too old to walk around here by yourself, are you? I said, I'm never too old to walk around by myself. I said, I like to exercise. Because where you live at? 157 Disco Loop Road. He goes, want me to take you home? Be my guest officer. You get to run the front seat with me. You got the front seat with me? You got a big computer right there in the front seat there. I looked at him and goes, want to go for a ride a little bit? I said, well, sure. Sure. He goes, I've never seen you before. I said, well, it's because I've been harbored down inside of a building. I live with my daughter and my son-in-law. He goes, who's your daughter? And I told him who she was. I'll be doggone. So you're Megan's father. Yes, I am. So I see you at church a couple of times, too. That's why I pulled you over. And I go, well, thank you very much. I appreciate this. We went for a nice ride today, and he took me home. And my daughter, my son-in-law said, what did you do this time? And he said, nothing. I said, I had no idea he was your father-in-law. Oh, yeah, he likes to walk around all the time. Yeah, I saw him walking around. I don't see very many elderly people walking around here, so he walks around all the time. So I had a pretty good day. It came out pretty good. Yep. And Daniel says, I have stands if you want to put the duck on. Yes, I sure use them, Sir Daniel. Yes, sir. Is that B-58? Is that a Lindbergh kit? I think Lindbergh made one, and MONOGRAM made one. Lindbergh made one. I believe Revell made one. Of course, Revell MONOGRAM made two. They made the big 148 scale one. And I built the 148 scale one before. That was a hell of a kit. I got one of those in storage, I think. I got. And it's built already. I built that back in 81, 82 when it first came out, 83, 84, somewhere in the early 80s. And yeah. And Mark 6310 says, I'm starting on an old Hawk F8 Bearcat, old vintage kit with U.S. Marine markings. Now, I've had a Hawk, a Bearcat one time. It was in chrome. It was all chrome finished. And they made a couple. I also got the P-51 Mustang, too. They got it was all chrome. And yeah. I get that BPA Hustler. I'm going to do it with natural aluminum using my famous aluminum tape method. Yeah, Daniel, I can use a stand for that duck. Yes, I can. I remember that on my ITC one, the stand came with, it was It was round, and it had like an ocean texture on it with a stand that fits neat float. Oh, beautiful. Dark blue. I've got a trumpeter, 1/32 scale, F8 Bearcat. I bought it down there at the hobby shop. Down there by the corn mall, by the Dayton Mall. There. I bought that probably about 8, 9 years ago. I was there one time and I looked at the models back there and it said $10 price tag. For a trumpeter 1/32 scale is $10. So hell, I bet that we go right now. I went in there. And one of the guys back there all knew me. He said, I'll see you buying this hookup was marked down. Yeah, why it's so marked down? So what happened? I said, well, a customer bought it and it had a crack on the windshield. So we got a lot of renewing. And so we can't sell this at the price that it is, especially that shape. So we marked it down like $10. And so that's how much damage done to it. And the windshield right there, just where the windscreen comes up, the frame of the windscreen, that was cracked at. Right where the frame was recessed on the back. So well, hell, that ain't nothing. So you put some paint on that, and it looks like it's not even broke. It goes, well, it's yours, take it. So I gave him $10 for it. That was good. It came out really nice. And Daniel says, Kill TV man, still stands Aurora style. Yeah, Aurora has a nice stand. I like the stand here on the PBY. I've got one. These are nice stands right here. On my PBY right here. I like these stands. These stands are really nice. That stand may fit the stuff. I don't know. I like it on Dumbo. That shows you guys going back 70 years. Compared to this, that shows you how much technology has changed. Ancient to present and new. Now, of all the gimmick models I like, I always liked the Revell 140 scale 86 Skyraider. Has operation die brakes, the landing gear folds up, the wings fold. I got a couple of those in my storage. Landing gear thing is pretty tricky. You gotta, as the wheels fold up, they rotate as they fold inside the wings. Not too many people build, but I don't think I'm the only one. YouTube has built that kit. Check out my old YouTube videos. You'll see me building that 86 Skyraider. I'm the only ones that have built that kit. And exclusive model designs. Matt says, okay, Daniel says, regarding to the stand I just showed you on my PBY, so just like that, but a little smaller. It has a tall arc to it. Okay, that'll definitely work, sir. Thank you, Daniel. God bless you, buddy. And Matt says for aircraft kits, I think companies should always have the option for wheels up or down. Like Daniel says, I agree. Now, on this here, these are retractable. And they come down like this, and they lock. Yep, and they lock. Yeah, we have a good night. Boy, I tell you. Man, I can't believe I thought today was Thursday. I felt like I lied to you guys yesterday being my birthday. I thought yesterday was Wednesday. God. Man. I should look at my phone for now. I'm born August 19th, 1945. I was born about a week and a half after World War II came to an end. And Mark 6310 says, I have a float plane in my stash. Japanese type OP. Yeah, that pizza good. I got one too. I think it's 132nd scale. No, 148 scale. Either 148 scale, 132nd scale. All I knew was it came in a big old box about that thick and about like that. It made 148 scale. That pizza good. Hasagawa made a pizza one time. I think they made that in 172nd scale. I think it was. And then also UPC, Union Plastic Corporation out of New Jersey. They make them too. That was 148 scale. All the way down to the little Taki kit. And the little Taki kits are pretty good kits. I remember back in the early 1970s, around what, 72, 71? They made the SPD Dauntless 148 scale, also the Hellcat. Well, the first one I got was the Dauntless. I opened it up. This is a monogram kit. And that's about what it was, an old monogram kit. The plastic was a lot more darker blue. Yeah. Yamato used Peaks and also used those Nakajima E13, not the BAMs. It was a model plane. It had two floats on it. What the BAMs? It was the Peak was a float plane. The other one I forget what it was. But it was a model plane with two floats. I know it was an E13 something. It comes to my mind. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was, Daniel. And the wings are like they come down like that, and the tips kind of flared up a little bit. Had two floats on there. The amount of used Pete was a pretty good flying boat. for a constant observation plane. Yeah, I got the Emily flying boat. It's back. It's back there. Let me see if I can rustle that thing down. Yeah, this is a new tooling, Emily. Now, Hasegawa made two 1/72nd scale Emily's. This is a new tool one they got. It has two torpedoes with the fins underneath behind the torpedoes. Let me tell you something about this Emily flying boat. Then we're going to launch these to finish up the job at Pearl Harbor. After December 7th, December 8th, they're going to launch these. These had a hell of a long distance. They had this about 3,000 miles. As Emily flying boats, they can fly a great distance. They're going to fly all these away from Japan to go to Pearl Harbor and take out the fuel depots and also the submarine bases and dry docks. And they were going to go to this, and Yamato says no, because that'd be a bad idea right now. Because as a matter of fact, one of the warlords said, why don't we just use Emily flying boats in there? We don't have to worry about bringing the carriers in there. We reserve that. But the plan was to go ahead and use 6 carriers and the flotillas that they used to attack Pearl Harbor. Yeah. Yeah, it's only flying boat. It's pretty good sized flying boat. It's not bigger than the Coronado. Yeah. A little bigger than the short side of the flying boat. There you go. They only hanging up right behind the on top of the B-25. I got my Titanic here. I got her lights on. She's all lit up right now. This is my 1974 Harmons Titanic, my Intex models. To this day, this is truly a good kit. Actually, I like it a lot better than my Trumpeter 1/200 scale one back there. Yeah, the Mavis 2. Right, you're right, Daniel. The Mavis 2 was a good one. It That was 1/72nd scale one too. That did that actually. Hot Sky made two of them. They made a 1/144 scale one, a smaller one, and they made the 1/72nd scale one. And I remember that they had a price tag of $8. The Emily had a price tag of $8 on the Emily flying boat. The first tooling of it, not the one I just showed you a while ago. That's the new tooling they got. And the kit retails at $8. And boy, you talk about Rosie Rivers. Boy, she was on triple time on overtime. There's enough rivets, popped out rivets on that little flying boat. You can use it as a raft. I'm not kidding. You can take that wing off using a file. You can file balsa with it, not wearing out the rivets. I'd use wet and dry sandpaper and tone down those rivets and bring them down a little bit. It's a lot more lower relief than what they were. But the Mavis too was a good flying boat, and I think it had a top wing like the PBY, and you had the struts on the bottom of it. It had 4 engines and 2 tails. It looked like a PBY on steroids. That's what it looked like to me. And Matt says, has anyone built the old 1/7 scale B-17 and B-24? I love those old kits. I have. I've got them in my stash too. Unbuilt. I've got the Memphis Bell, showing it flying at an angle. Had Jack Linwood art on it, and also got the B-24. It's called the Blue Streak. Operation Tidalway. It shows you flying really low over the smelters. They're good kits. Very good kits. If not buying it, says yes, those are great kits. And Mark 6310 is an awesome looking model. Understanding Brit says yes, I had the Revell kits, mainly for the box art. The box art, those kits, the Revell kits, they're excellent. I love them. That's what sold the model, fellas. Yeah, so Japanese only had 2 flying boats that they used at the time. They used the Mavis and also the Emily. They both had good long range. All flying boats back in the days had long ranges, you know. And the range of flying boats back then were actually matched with multi-engine aircraft today, like we have like jet aircraft and simple aircraft like a DC-4, DC-6, DC-7, 377 Boeing Skycruiser Clipper, and because what made the flying boats so redundant is because that during the war, all countries and continents they had airports where they could land. So they had aircraft, piston-powered aircraft, E-jet-powered aircraft that could fly to America. It could land there. That made the flying boats redundant. They couldn't use them anymore. I got the Martin Mars too. I got 2 of them on 1/72 scale. I got the vacuum form, my combat models they made. And I got an A model. That was about a $300 kit. Made out of fiberglass and resin and white plastic and metal, white metal. Multimedia kit. And I think it was the Marshall Mars. I flew in the Hawaii Mars all the way from Alameda Naval Air Station, San Francisco, California, all the way to out the Bay of Honolulu out there, right there by Illinois Naval Air Station out there. That's where you couldn't land in the bay out there in Pearl Harbor because it'd take it takes about 2 miles for them to get off the ground. And I always landed by the air station out there. They had a seaplane dock out there. They had a lot of seaplane ramps out there at Illinois, and they could bring the PBYs up, and bring the not the Mars up there, but Mariner, and P-5 in flying boats. So during the war, they had the seaplane masts were used for the Coronados and also for the PBYs, and also the Mariners. But Martin Mars, had an anchor buoy out there right off of the bay out there, and you had to take a boat like we did on the naval air station. We got to get aboard a jolly boat and took us all the way from the wharf dock out to the bay out there where Mars is parked at. We boarded it from the side that's underneath the wing. Doors that slide open like this. We got inside there. We had to go through the deck. They had spirals. I remember they had spiral stairs. Came all the way from the cargo deck, all the way up to the first flight deck, the cargo deck one, another one up to another cargo deck up too, on the top side. Then you went straight ahead and took all the flight deck. And my mother, she was pregnant with my brother back then, and we boarded Mars. That thing was a 741 in the 1940s. That was a 747 in the 1940s. And that was a big airplane that thing was. And my mother was scared to death of it, and so was I, because we never seen anything so big in our life. We got aboard that Mars. And my mother said, I'm so frightened of this thing. And one of the crew chiefs over there says, ma'am, there's nothing to worry about. This is the safest airplane United States Navy ever has. We ever had no mishaps with this thing. It's a beautiful airplane. It'll get you where you want to go, no problem. Which it did. And there was Freddie, Sooner Models. Good health to you, Frankie. Happy birthday. Thank you very much, dear friend. Thank you very much, Freddie. I appreciate it. Freddie's a good guy, guys. He really is. He has a great humanitarian. He has a beautiful heart and a good model builder. And I'm very happy for him. He has a girlfriend now and stuff, and he's okay. And I'm happy for him. I do worry about him a lot. He's a great person. He really is. He does good work. Let's see some of the models he makes. He does a very good job. And he has a hobby shop too in a house, all in one building. I thought I was good with my stash. Like my dad said, you think it's good that somebody out there always better than you are, Frankie. You gotta keep that in mind. He showed me a stash one time. It's like walking to a hobby shop that went out of business. That's what puts your mind in. Closed all the doors, so I emptied out the hobby shop and took it home. And now mine says birthday yesterday. No, I thought yesterday was my birthday. I thought yesterday was Wednesday and today's Thursday. And you notice on the headletter of my stream says "Welcome Thursday night, Happy Birthday, Bill." I'm doing on my PBY Catalina got here, and Daniel says it's Wednesday up here in Maine. I looked at on my phone and it said Wednesday, August 19th. That's my birthday. I apologize, everybody. I thought yesterday was my birthday. Like I say, I'm in this room 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 30, 31 days a month in this room. I don't go nowhere but other than talk around the block and come back in here and work at YouTube, work on models. I'm in my own little utopia, little world here that I go on. I lose all concept of time. I really do. So happy birthday. He would call you no fart. That's okay. I am no fart. No fart, no win. And Freddie, a cinema model, says I've been buying models since I was 5 years old. So was I. I've been building them since I was about 3. And the ones I had back in the old days when I was a kid, the little flip orbits, those things plastic. mostly Comet kits, Cleveland kits, Legal kits, and yeah, that was about all there was back in those days until the Good Folks Rebel came out in 1954. When the first model they released was USS Missouri. And after they made the USS Missouri to be in New Jersey, right next to that, the box wasn't like this, like that, not like this. It was like a box was shaped up like this, way down. Looked like an oversized shoebox. Had a hole in there, and all the parts were in little baggies. That's how it was produced. After that, came out with a PT boat, the Vosper type PT boat. Then they came out with the Chris Craft cabin cruiser. And after that, they came out with the USS The Sullivans, pleasure class destroyer. They came out with the Currituck, which is a seaplane tender, the Pine Island, Norton Sound, and they came out with the Hawaiian Pilot, 1956, and the Hawaiian Pilot was the C-3 freighter, and the Dr. Likes C-3 freighter, and its T-2 type tanker, which is a GL Hannah. They came out with the SS Brazil, and they came out with the USS Helena, a Baltimore class cruiser, and they came out with Franklin D. Roosevelt. By 1956, 57, they came out with the USS Foresight. They added Saratoga after that, and the Ranger after that. Same class as Foresight class. And the Franklin D. Roosevelt came out probably around 1950, 58, somewhere around there. And the Coral Sea came out in the Midway. All those old, and the Repos and the Repos, hospital ship, and the other one was called the Haven hospital ship. Mark 6310 says, I think the first kit I built was the Aurora Fokker DR1 when I was about 7, I think. Yeah, the little Aurora kits, they were really pumping out. I think Aurora kits made their best selections were the War 1 kits. They were nice. And they all came with kind of like a little activity scene there, they had a couple figures on there. They were all 1/48 scale. A couple figures, they had like a ground thing with a couple of bull chocks up there. You could chalk up your planes up to it. You had one guy who posed like after Paul, like spinning. Now, what Freddie's got, he's got the old 1/28 scale Rebelle trio, the Southwest Camel, the DR1 Fokker triplane. They also got the Spad, and all 1/28 scale. And the other things they came out in 1957. The boxes are very thin. I got all 3 of them in my stash. They're about that big, about that tall, about that thin. And they came with all closable figures there. Guys, I got a Fokker triplane that has them pushing the wing out. I did a YouTube video of that too on my Fokker. That was a good kit. They were good kits. Them things were a must. And back in those days, old guys my age that bought them. And I remember one time I bought the Spad. The short flying over like this. It was all blue background. Eddie Rickenbacker Spad. And I was probably, how old was I back then? 7? I was about 8 years old, maybe 8 or 9 years old, somewhere around there. And I remember the hobby, they said, young man, you think you could build this? Yes, sir, I can build it with no problem at all. It was okay because I want to sell these to somebody that don't know these are very difficult to build. He said, well, it says, I've got plenty of help. And so he sold it to me. They're about, it cost about $2, about $3. Now, $3 that day, they're very expensive. But I can see why. And And Mr. Daniel Britton says, I did the Aurora North American Vision. My grandfather had that in his living room right up to the end. And she was a Native American. Yeah, they did make animals. They did make animals. They sure did. They made a vulture too. And Freddie says the first model was the Matchbox Zero. After watching Tor in 1972 in Germany. And Mark 6310 says Matt had a nice biplane. Merritt had nice biplanes kits too. I saw Midway in Honolulu and Sinzround. There's a movie back in 1982 that made. It's called The Winds of War. Robert Mitchum in it. Got that, of course, the characters there, cast of characters. That was right across from my house out there. They made that movie in Port Hueneme, California. Pearl Harbor Satan was flying over. I remember I come home from work. I was working at Westlake Village out there by up in Los Angeles, Westlake, Leventi Drive. They was building Robert. What the hell the guy plays in Marcus Welby? Robert Young. And also played he also played Father's Knows Best. A lot of movie stars had houses out there. And I was working for MFM Masonry. We built a lot of movie stars' houses out there. We got them building his house, and I was coming home here all whoa, all these airplanes buzzed over. What the hell's going on? Air show? And I came home, and Bruce says, "Oh, Frank, I don't know what's going on today." I said, well, "I hear airplanes flying all over the place, and noise and stuff." I thought somebody had them watching a war movie. I went outside and seen all these airplanes flying around. I said, yeah, I saw them flying around too. Looked like Jet Zeros. I bet they're making a movie. I said, Brenda, let's get in the car. I think I know where it's at. It's out there where Port Hueneme. I think where North Sound is. Sure enough, that's what it was. We got out of the car and they had guys out there with vectors. And you see them as the Zeros flying over. On the muzzle, you see little flashes like that. You weren't shooting them, just little flashes like coming from the muzzle. Simulating machine guns out. And they had these stone grenades that they had. And they're throwing them, boom, boom, blowing up. That was pretty impressive to see that. They're the same airplanes that used that movie Tor. They even had the old Vultee BT-19, which is the Cape torpedo modified. It was flying over, and they dropped that torpedo in the water. Hit the water, just above the top. And yeah, that was a good movie. We watched it. What you made that movie? That was a good movie. Now I've got the Fairy Swordfish 148 scale by Tamiya. That was a good kit. That thing had a clear fuselage and a solid fuselage. Pretty weird. I guess they had one side was clear and one side was solid. That way you turn it around, you see it painted completely. You turn around the other side, you can see the inside and the interior of the airplane. Well, the same thing at a Hellcat back there I did. They made a clear cowling so you could reveal that beautiful Pratt & Whitney Wasp engine that the Hellcat used. I got a big old bull beast too. So that's my favorite. So I guess that's a a complimentary meal is my birthday. I'm sorry, guys. I thought yesterday was my birthday. I apologize. I felt like I did to you. I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know. I thought today was Thursday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Like I said, I put the cart before the horse. So today is officially my birthday today. 81 years old. Man. Pretty soon I'll be 91. Getting up there, boys. Getting up there. And Matt said that it's all good. We can celebrate the week. It sounds wonderful to me, guys. It really does. Okay, we're going to start this PBY a little bit and get back to the camera here. I want to get this thing weathered out pretty good here. I already got a wash on my Browns green on my inside my interior. Like I say, for interior, this is all there is to it right here. This is right there. I put a wash on it last night, so it's pretty good. We'll bring out some details to it. I'm going to go ahead and close it in. Okay, we'll bring the camera down. We'll get started on things, fellas. Join me for about 2 or 3, 4 hours maybe. And we'll get the PBY going for the Coke out of the way. I want to hog up the show. Get my Popeye pipe out of the way. Man, I like to have a couple of good big cigars right now. I enjoy cigars up better than the Coke, than the pipe. Okay. Now I've got my And Mr. Danny Brenton says that would be a healthy wingspan. About 25 inches, Daniel. A little more than 2 feet. Here we go, boys. We'll get this instrument panel done. give you no decals for the instant panel, so you got to get on your own. Another MONOGRAM shortcut. When it dries, I'm going to mix the pipe and epoxy. I'm going to dab some epoxy out of the doll facings, mix them like glass. I'm going to let it dry first. got 4 watching, 9 thumbs up. Okay. Okay. Now we do this is epoxy. Whoops. dry. The wind is in there. Yeah, wonderful, 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 wonderful. Got the Dallas all glass in using epoxy. Drive it, take a break, put together and close the fuselage. Go to the stabilizers next. Those Dumbo's going pretty good. Okay. Two watching, 9 thumbs up. Yep, Matt says, those kids so old still stand out. Yes, they do. This thing here's probably about 30 years old now. It's this PBY. But still a great cat. It's a wonderful cat. Those in the flying boats, I highly recommend to get this kit. It's a good kit. Monogram's produced a lot of the PBY 5A variants. They had the United States Air Force, they had the Air Force version, and they also had the snafu catchers, the black cats, and this one here. Let it dry. We're ready to close up the fuselage. Let it dry. It comes up, yeah. Let it dry. Let it dry with dignity. Not buying it says the monogram B17G was nice. The B52 as well. Oh yeah, that B52 always is better. I think it's not better than the Earthful kit and also the AMT kit they have. And Matt says I love the old 172nd scale B52. Yes, it is. Now I've got I got two of them in my collection. I've got both of them were 1968 kits. They first came out. They got motors in them. The motors in green plastic, and the batteries were in the Bombay. You open up the Bombay doors. There's a screw up here, and a screw in the top, screw in the bottom. You screw it out and pull it up there. You got your regular. I think they're pinline batteries. I think it's 4 of them in there. They pop in there. You stick them there. There's a switch underneath on the starboard wing behind the trailing edge. When the flap comes down, pull that switch. You hear the motor starting up. It's motorized. That thing was a hit kit. A lot of people were standing in line for that kit. It came out back in 1968, and it cost $14 back then. I remember that. And I was in the Navy when that happened. I came home from leave and went down to my favorite hobby shop. It was Robert's Hobby Shop. I went down there, and they always called me Old Bill's Pump. Hey, Bill's Pump, how you doing? Oh, pretty good. I said, man, last time I seen you, you were just ready to go to the service. Well, I've been there for a while. We got some new stuff back there. They get that Monogram made that big B52. They got B52, a big one. Oh yeah, you know that? No, I never heard of it before. So if I got the old Bell one, not like that. But I had no idea that Monogram made one. Oh yeah, they made that. They made that this year. Go back and check it out. I went there. And, wow, how about 2 of them? And he goes, I was with you guys buying 2 of each. And he goes, well, we're going to keep one in the stash, one build one later, and build one now. So I bought 2 of them. I think about $30 for tax and everything with 2 of them. It wasn't too bad. I built one of them, the other one's in its box still. Very good kit. fuselage upside down. I'm gonna make some tape strips. No. I like when his jokes work too. Right. Yeah, that was a good movie. I think I'll watch that tonight. The Mission of the Shark. Stacy Keach. Yeah, he's the one who played the captain on that thing. Boy, he got a bad rap. Captain, what was that name? Captain the boy. Captain, good God. Yeah, that captain got railroaded. He was a scapegoat there. They should never let that ship be unescorted like that. I have an escort out there. That was a blunder. That was the worst embarrassment of the Navy. They had to blame him for it. He committed suicide back in 1968. He couldn't take it any longer. You know, I was really sad. When they found him, when they found him dead with a hole in his head with a gun. He shot himself. He had a toy sailor in his hand, and the guy was just hooked. He was harmed all his life because of that. You know, ain't no way for a sailor or anybody to die. Those sharks, they can smell blood miles away. You know, we got casualties out there in that water. Hear that thing? Sharks are attracted by two things: thrashing of the water and blood. So most of the sharks out there were bull sharks and tiger sharks out there. Very, very ruthless man eaters. Captain McVeigh, that's his name. You're right. Captain McVeigh. The poor guy, you know, he was even Captain Hashimoto on I-99 that sunk the Indianapolis said it didn't matter if he did the zigzag or not. I have him in my sights. I could have him do it. He said the zigzag course made no difference. He says I would have had him. So they got him. The court martialed him for not the failure to zigzag. And like Captain Hashimoto, they say that even Captain Hashimoto came to Captain McVeigh's house personally, personally came up to him. He bowed his head and said, "Sorry," so you're treated unfairly. Even that Captain Hashimoto knew that he was treated unfairly by his own peers. You know. I guess in 1968 they found him dead. He shot himself with a naval revolver. He had a toy sailor in his hand. So I guess every day he went to bed with in his conscience. He couldn't handle it longer. You know, a lot of those sailors, over 1,000 sailors, were in that water, and only about a very small handful came out. And that PBY out there fished them out of there. Yeah, you're right. Well, I got that kit by Academy. It's in my storage. They've got the grass bay. It's in my storage. I got that to me, a 1/350 scale USS Enterprise too. It's about like that, about 300 inches long. It's huge. I got a lot of good stuff. I'm gonna get it out this month. I hope so. I really do. I pray to God get that stuff out of there. Now, the Enterprise kit, 1/350 scale, but to me, it's an excellent kit. But Alex of Alex Modeling calls it a lemon kit. I said, Alex says, the kit's not a lemon. It's a good kit. If there's anything about that kit that you call, it's called a suck you into more money kit. Because it sucks you into buying more aftermarket parts like photo etch, air wing, decals, resin parts, all that stuff. Because those Tamiya kits, they stopped. They didn't give you no railings at all. The first kit they made was the 250 scale was the Bismarck. Then the Missouri came out, and they had no railings to it. Because at the time the Bismarck came out and the USS Missouri came out, photo etch was coming in. Lauren Perry of Gold Medal Models, he was the originator and the father of photo etch. And Lauren Perry was making all these photo etch parts for all the chips. So for me, I caught on to that. I'll tell you what, we'll give them a kit, and they're going to buy stuff for it anyway, so I can give themselves a photo etch kit. Instead of throwing in the photo etch parts in the kit, like we're shooting at that price of this kit, that kit was expensive. I mean, back then, I think that kit cost over $100 back then. I know the Missouri cost. I bought the USS Missouri 1/350 scale, and it was a $50 kit back in the 1980s. And the Enterprise was probably about $75 to $80. It was a lot of money. Very top shelf kit. And so a kit like that, they're in the suck in the more money kit. You got to go out and buy photo etch parts and stuff, you know. Trumper, they give you a very smattering amount of photo etch. The most complete photo etch set they give you in their 1/350 scale fleet, I know since I built, what I've seen is USS Texas and USS New York with battleships. They come with a full photo etch set, everything. It's complete. You don't need nothing. You'd be foolhardy to go out there and buy yourself a photo etch set for a kit that's got all the photo etch parts. You know, and that thing is loaded with photo etch. And sometimes Trumper gives you the railings and stuff. Sometimes they don't. You just a little bit to get started, and you got to buy the rest. And the price of those kits, they should throw in photo etch. They can't hurt them. I normally don't use photo etch parts. Guys out there, you know, if they're there in the kit, I will use them. If they're not, the reason why I don't use them, I don't use them that much, because it's not because I can't afford them. It's a fact that, especially in the situation I'm in here in this room, I got model shows to go to. The only two places I go to with the models is here on YouTube and also forums. And that's it. Now that a big Titanic back there, and also in front of it is the USS Iowa, 200 scale. It comes with complete photo etch. You don't need to buy no stuff. It's all there. Again, you'd be foolhardy to go and buy yourself a full photo etch. Or these kits behind me, they got the photo etch. Now I got a photo etch set right here. Let me show you. I do too, Mac. I love and hate for photo etch. I got a floaterette set right here. It's by Tom's Model Works. It's a Titanic rail set and shrouds. It goes with my 1/350 scale Titanic gun over here. Very delicate set. Okay, thank you, Matt, for tuning in tonight. I mean, God bless, buddy. And I'm about ready to get out of here myself right now. I want to let this thing fuselage dry overnight. And we'll, I'm going to get back on the half track. I haven't given up on that. That's right there in front of my face. Right now, I'm just overzealous with this PBY I got from Mr. Daniel. And we got a lot done on time. We got the instrument panel all finished. We got it closed up. I got the transparency pieces in there. I got the glass dials I made on it where you can see it, they shine. And, yeah, so it's kind of pretty good. And tomorrow, I'm going to try. And I think I can be able to get it done. I want to get this thing finished. I think I finally build my drum and duck here. This Daniel sent me. And I want to get this thing done. I'm going to put the rigging on, rig it up. I got decals, the rigging, and the engine, and the canopy. And I got these pilots, they're whacked off from their torsos. Daniel Britton, he suggested go ahead and use it anyway. You're not going to see it. You're not going to see it much in the cockpit anyway, which ain't hardly a cockpit at all. Ain't nothing right home about. The only they give you is 2 bulkheads, 2 seats, and a floorboard. That's all you get. What you see in there is all you get. And so I picked them up, put them in with the hell of it, mask off my windshield, airbrush them, put them there, replace, put the decals on this thing, get the motor all done, and rig it up. And I love this little duck. Cute little plane. Even better when it comes down. It'll land on an aircraft carrier. That'd be fine. It'll work. I like that too. I like the landing gear the track. And I'll come down too. The locks right there, just like that. I click, they're locked. Titanic stand we give you. I want to show you something else to give you the kit. Oh, that's right there. Show you something. This comes from my Titanic. This is the bicentennial breed. course, we're all familiar with the stand they give you. That's the stand they give you on the kit. Now, for the bicentennial version, you flip it over. If you don't want to use this side, you flip it over and get this. They already printed it off when you're ready. Titanic bicentennial. 1912 to 2012. 100 years. So naturally, I'm going to use this side. Might be working on Titanic. I mean, get the guy wires on the funnels and do the rigging and it's one wedge work. That Antex kit's a good kit. Caddy makes it now a little bit. It's still a wonderful kit. It holds its weight. It still turns heads. Well, everybody, I think I'm gonna tune out here right now, and I'm getting a little tired. I got a big day tomorrow. We got a lot of model building going on. I'm trying to get these two models, get the final builds for them all done. That way, I'm making some headway right here. And I got the 17 ready to go, and this duck won't take long to get this duck on. I got probably about an hour's work on the duck to be all done. B-17, got about 10-15 minutes on it, it'll be finished. Tomorrow's gonna be a nice day, so I'm gonna take some nice pictures. Get these things done, get them hung up. And, yeah, we'll get the half track going. We'll get more done on the PBY. Okay, I'd like to thank all my new old subscribers for tuning in to tonight and for your wonderful views, comments, and candor. Big honor to you. And thank you very much to everybody out there for your wonderful support on me on my models. Daniel Britton, also Dingy, and Newport 28C. And we got Mr. Henderson. He's sending me a 1/350 scale to me a DKM Kirkets. And that'll be coming in with a wood deck and some turret sets coming in. And I really appreciate the support you guys give me. You know how I'm so grateful to you all. And so I get my stash in, I can make up to a lot of you fellas out there. You guys need anything? You add to your stash, I probably got it. No doubt about it. I got some stuff coming in next week that Mr. Daniel's sending me. You got a B-58 coming in with me. I got a Mariner, a P-45, a Corsair, and something else coming in. Yeah, and a Tiger tank coming in. And, oh yeah, Daniel, if you're watching, sir, if you got any more parts of that Ford Tri-Motor, that MONOGRAM kit, send them this way. Because right now, I was taken by surprise yesterday when I opened up the kit. I said, "What's this daggy right here?" And I saw a Ford Tri-Motor here. Wow, I haven't built one of these things since the mid-1950s. So the wings are complete, the fuselage is complete, but the rudder, the engines, and the undercarriage is all gone. And, so if you got them, that's fine. If you don't worry about it, sir. You sent me enough already. And thank you very much, everybody out there again, for your wonderful support. And make mama happy, take care of the little ones, stay focused, swing dry, please be aware of your surroundings, say your prayers, spend wisely, enjoy the dog days of summer, because pretty soon it's going to get cold outside. And when you leave your home, make sure you got protection for your family, watch your children, watch your family, watch yourself, take care, and God bless, and model on. This is Frankie Day Models signing off. Take you guys for tomorrow for another fun packed adventure of working on that PBY and also the half track and the duck. So thank you very much, everybody. We'll catch you tomorrow evening. Bye and take care, everybody. And thank you very much. Like I say, model on and say your prayers. This Frankie Day signing off. Bye, boys. Take care of yourself.